They left you, didn't they? When you needed them most, they vanished. When you were breaking, they watched. When you cried for help, they stayed silent. And now you're here, alone, in the dark. But listen closely. That's exactly where you're supposed to be. Because the dark is not your prison. It's your training ground. It's where weakness dies and power is born. You see, everyone wants to be a hero until the world shows them what pain really feels like. Everyone loves the light until it burns them. But you're different. You've been thrown into the dark, and instead of begging for light, you started seeing through it. People think darkness destroys you, but it doesn't. It reveals you. It strips you of your illusions, of fake friends, false hopes, and shallow love. The dark exposes what the light hides. Your strength, your rage, your truth. So when they left you, they didn't break you. They freed you. Freed you from the noise. Freed you from weakness. Freed you from the illusion that anyone would save you. You were never meant to be rescued. You were meant to rise. To crawl through every scar. To bleed through every wound and still keep moving forward. That's how monsters are born. Not from evil, but from pain that was never healed. From betrayal that never got an apology. From silence that never got a reply. They call you heartless now? Good. Keep it that way, because the world will use your heart until it stops beating. You owe them nothing. Not love, not forgiveness, not words. When you're in the dark, you start to see things differently. You stop dreaming about what could be and start building what must be. You stop waiting for help and become your own rescue. The dark doesn't break strong people. It creates them. Every king, every legend, every monster they fear was once someone left alone, bleeding, forgotten. And if they left you in the dark, it means they didn't believe in your comeback. Good. Because when you rise, they won't see it coming. Good. You stayed. Most people can't handle this kind of truth. They want soft words, fake comfort, and pretty lies. But not you. You came here because you're tired of pretending. You came here because you're done being weak. So, listen closely. The darkness that tried to destroy you is the same darkness that's going to build you. Every sleepless night, every moment you felt unwanted, every time you looked around and saw no one standing beside you, it was never punishment. It was preparation. They left you in the dark so you could learn how to see without light. So you could learn to depend on yourself. Because if pain can't stop you, nothing ever will. You know what the problem is? People think the dark is something to fear, but real monsters, they come from the light. They smile, they promise, they praise until you fall. And then they vanish. That's when you learn. That's when you stop expecting mercy. That's when you become what they feared you might be. untouchable. They'll call you cold. They'll say you've changed. But they'll never understand what it took to survive. They weren't there when the walls closed in. They weren't there when you had to build yourself from ashes. They weren't there when you had to choose between breaking and becoming something else entirely. You want to know the secret? You don't escape the dark. You become it. You stop running from the pain and start feeding on it. Every disappointment becomes discipline. Every heartbreak becomes hunger. Every scar becomes a reminder. You're still here. You didn't break. You adapted. And that's what scares them. They can't hurt you anymore because you stopped needing them. They can't control you anymore because you stopped explaining yourself. You are no longer chasing love or approval. You're chasing power. You see, when they left you in the dark, they thought it would kill you. But all they did was give you time. Time to rebuild in silence. Time to sharpen your mind. Time to become something they can't understand. People fear what they can't explain. And when they see you rise, when they see the fire in your eyes that wasn't there before, they'll whisper, "What happened to you?" You tell them, "The dark happened. The dark taught me who I am. The dark taught me that pain isn't punishment. It's power. The dark taught me that no one is coming to save me. And that's exactly why I will never need saving again. You're not supposed to stay in the shadows forever. You're supposed to own them. The world forgot your name? Good. Because now you get to rewrite it. The light isn't where you find strength. It's where you show it. Strength is built here in the silence, in the loneliness, in the moments no one claps for you. So don't rush to escape the dark. Master it. Because when you finally step into the light again, you won't be the same person who entered it. You'll be something new, something feared, something unstoppable. They left you in the dark to die. They lit candles for themselves and whispered prayers that you wouldn't return. Let them pray. Let them light their candles. When you come back, you will bring a storm that blows their lights out. You will not return to beg for love. You will not return to explain. You will return to collect, not apologies, but consequences. When you walk back into their world, make no mistake, you are not the same mistakes they made you believe you were. You are the truth they refused to accept. You are the result of every no turned into focus, every betrayal turned into fuel, every lonely night turned into training. Become predictable in your discipline and unpredictable in your arrival. Let them memorize your silence and be surprised by your thunder. They will have plans for you, small ones. Let them. While they plan small, you become enormous. There will be days you will want to speak, to tell them the cruelty of it all, to ask for reasons, to show them your wounds. Don't. Silence is the best language for monsters and kings alike. Speak only with results. Let your bank account, your presence, your calm stare, your unshakable posture speak for you. Let their applause be replaced by silence so thick it incapacitates them with regret. Understand this. Revenge is not the aim. Revenge is only a byproduct. Your true goal is sovereignty, to live by your rules, to be untouchable, to never be dependent again. Money will not heal your scars, but it will keep the wolves away. It will buy you choices others never had. It will teach you to travel through life with a different currency. Freedom. So learn to invest in yourself the way others invest in illusions. Buy books, buy quiet rooms, buy time, buy the company of those who prove themselves in silence. Spend on lessons that cut deeper than compliments. Spend on solitude that shapes you. Remove the parasites from your circle, not with drama, but with silence. When you refuse to be available for those who only wanted you as an option, you purge yourself of theft. The theft of time, of ambition, of peace. Cultivate enemies, number. Cultivate boundaries. Be ruthless with your schedule. Be brutal with distractions. When you protect your focus like a vault, you become the kind of person no one can casually injure. Becoming the monster they fear is not about cruelty. It is about refusal. A refusal to be small because the world is noisy. It is about choosing growth over approval, grit over comfort, power over pity. And every night you spend sharpening yourself in silence, imagine their faces when it all becomes obvious. Not in a balcony speech, not in a confrontation, but in the simple act of living well without them. That will be their sentence. Walk slower. Move with intent. Let your steps imply histories they cannot rewrite. Cultivate a smile that is not warmth but calculation. A smile that tells them you know what they did, and you did not need them to correct it. Do not be ashamed of becoming stone. Stone holds weight. Stone lasts. Stone becomes a monument while flesh forgets. When they ask what changed you, answer with one sentence. Dark taught me to survive. Success taught me to be the consequence. And when they ask for mercy, give them none. Not because you are cruel, but because mercy for the unrepentant only invites relapse. Let the universe be the judge of their remorse. You are not a court. This is not just a comeback story. This is an erasure of their privilege to wound you. This is the reclamation of every moment they said you weren't enough. Stand in your silence like armor. Let it dent their certainty, unbalance their plans, and turn their laughter into whispers. Now make a pact with yourself. Every day do one thing that makes your future self proud. Spend time that compounds. Learn a skill that buys you time. Seed an idea that compounds into an empire. Stop seeking permission. They never had any right to give it. Stop seeking validation. It costs you freedom. Start seeking mastery. It buys you dominion. And remember, you do not need to be cruel to be feared. You need to be consistent, relentless, and quietly terrifying in your focus. Before you leave this moment, know this. The dark is not a place of endings. It is where you rehearse your rise. It is where you learn the architecture of your own empire. It is where you become the legend that the light could never have made. So, go back into the world, not to be rescued, but to reclaim. Go back not to ask, but to take. Go back not to explain, but to build. If you are ready to stop surviving and start dominating, make this your promise. You will disappear into the work others mock, and you will return with power they can't name. You will become the consequence of every small thing they did to you. You will let your silence do the violence. And when your voice is finally heard, it will be on your terms. Not a plea, not a whisper, not a cry, but a decree. This is where monsters are born. This is where kings are forged. This is where you become unstoppable. They left you in the dark. Good! They built you into a consequence. Subscribe if you're ready to build in silence.